I have spent the last hour of my life trying to record an intro to this. The last one I recorded got to 5 minutes, and then I lost my train of thought. And you might say, why don't you write a script? Wouldn't that make it easier? Yes, it would. And I am determined, for some unknown reason, to do this without one. I don't know why I'm that stubborn. I don't know what I'm doing. The definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, and that is exactly what I intend to do again. I think I've recorded this. Let me count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 rows of 8, 24, 25 times. This will be the 26th. Let's get right into it, shall we? You clicked on this video for a reason. You know why you're here. I know why you're here. World building. Woo. To those of you who don't know what that means, and you clicked on the video because you saw a funny word in the title, world building is exactly what it sounds like. It is building a world. Whether this be in the grand scale, you're creating a fictional planet for your story to take place on, to a more metaphorical little sphere in which the story takes place, the single area your characters occupy. I think this tenet is all-encompassing. I think it applies to any kind of world building you want to do, regardless of scale, regardless of depth. I think it challenges every piece of world building that you could do, and you could theoretically take it as deep as you want or use it as shallow as you want. It is very versatile, and it is something that I have built my stories upon for a while now. I started working on my kind of core story, like the one story that's been like with me forever. I started it like 10 years ago. Technically 12 is when I conceptualized the idea of dragon people running around with swords. But it was 5th grade officially that I started writing it down and putting it to paper. So I say a decade is how long I've been working on this. And for years, I say years, I agonized, and I do not use that word lightly, agonized over not something grand, like what do their weapons look like? What are their battle strategies? What does their society look like? No, I agonized over the simplest of things. I agonized over the chair. I agonized over what a dragon person's chair would look like. Because they have wings and a tail, right? They have wings and a tail. They need to accommodate that. So the wings have to fit into little like slots in a chair or something. Or there's got to be a hole in the bottom for their tail to stick out of. Or maybe it's just got a really low back, so their wings kind of sit over the thing. Or maybe they don't have backs at all. Maybe they sit on stools. Until one day it clicked for me. And this is where the phrase kind of came from. The philosophy was born. I did not create this philosophy, I don't think. I've never seen it really said, though, in this kind of way. So I'd like to think I coined the phrase. I coined, like, the term for it myself, even though I did not invent this way of thinking, let me clarify. I'm not that smart. Okay. But the phrase was, broadly, do not challenge the design of something, challenge the notion of that something. Now let me explain what that means. The chair, right? For years I spent many hours trying to design what their chair would look like without ever even considering would they use a chair in our standard definition of a chair. And that kind of just opened doors that I did not realize were closed. Because before this, I had them using doors with hinges and door handles. I had them using square windows and square rooms. They had their own version of the internet, quite literally. My main character opened a laptop at one point and typed in a website name. They use regular swords and spears and the traditional idea of armor and like airplanes or something like that. I don't even know what their technology was at the time of writing this. All of that can be looked at through a lens of, would they even use this thing? Would they have a sword in the same sense of a handle with a crossguard and a blade coming out of it? Would they even use a weapon like that? If they can fly, if they can do whatever. And obviously, I'm still going to keep around some things, because even once you challenge the notion of that thing, you can say, oh yeah, they would use this. For example, maybe they would use a chair. My creatures don't, but maybe yours do. But the idea is, regardless of what you're doing, to look at it through the lens of, would this thing exist? Would they have conceptualized this thing in the same way that we as humans did? And this can apply for any alien race. This can even apply for humans if you're having some kind of other fantasy story with humanoid or human races on it. It works for anything across the board. I've gone so much farther now with world building, designing this dragon world. Like, okay, why would they have narrow little doors when they have huge wings? Would they have doors that operate on hinges, or would they have just a sliding door, or like some other mechanism for a door? Would they have doors on the bottom floor of their houses because they can fly? Would they have doors on ceilings because they can fly? Would they have stairs everywhere in the conventional sense? We have stairs up to floors everywhere, escalators, elevators, whatever. Would they have those things for everyone? No. No, they probably would not. We cannot fly, but they can, And then that extended to the architecture itself. Would they have roads between their buildings, per se, or do they just all build off of the original architecture? I think they're going to have roads, but still, I challenge the notion of a road, and that opens a whole new avenue of thinking. It's it's so good. It helps everything to feel, I guess, unique in a way, and uniquely yours and uniquely thought of. Because even if they end up using chairs and they end up using swords, I still thought about it in a way that will now make sense in the world that I continue to create. Instead of just oh yeah, they use swords, just slap them in there. No, I thought about whether or not swords would work. And it's almost like a screening process for everything that you do. And this even extends to biology and ecosystems. You look at picture a scenery, perhaps, of this world. And it's okay, would the trees be the same? Would the grass be green? And then you can dive into the science behind the grass. And then you take it one step further. Do they have grass on their planet? Do you see what I mean? It immediately just takes it down another avenue that you would have never even thought of. It's okay, maybe the grass is blue. No. Challenge the notion of the grass. And suddenly you completely transform the entire world that this takes place on now. Now it's not, there's grasslands. Maybe you invent some other plant that grows in big open areas. And suddenly your world that before was just it's just blue grass. Now it's completely different. It's yours. It's more uniquely your thing, And you can do that for any kind of geological structure, any kind of ecosystem, underwater, above the water, on land, in the air, whatever it may be. You can do this for history. You can do it for the education system, for currency, the way the government is structured. Would they have a title for a leader in the same way we do? We say, we have a king, we have a president, we have a prime minister, a dictator. Would they have the same kind of title for a person in that position? Instead of just reskinning dictator, this guy's a dictator, but I'm going to call him something else. No, challenge the notion of a dictator itself. And then everything is open. Everything. I'm telling you. If you think about this for every single thing that you do, and like I said, it sounds difficult. It probably sounds obnoxious. It sounds like unnecessary work. Why do I even need to challenge this? Do it anyway. Challenge it anyway, even if it's the most trivial thing. Would they sleep in a bed? Would they greet people with a hello and a handshake? Regardless of the outcome of that thing, even if they do end up okay, handshake and hello. Sure, they still do that. Even if that is still intact by the end, you thought about it. And you can say that you thought about it more deeply than people usually do. And like I said, this can apply to anything. Grand scale, planetary, small scale, one single household. Would they have the same appliances? Would they have the same type of room that we do? we have a living room and a dining room and a kitchen. Would they have that same idea? Or would they have rooms that serve different purposes? You know what I mean? You know, you get what I'm trying to say? You can challenge anything. Anything at all. And your world is instantly so much deeper for that. Oh my god, I actually recorded it in one take. Oh my god, let's go. I freaking win. What time is it, dude? 6:45. I got home from work an hour and a half ago. And I immediately came downstairs after changing my shirt. I hope this made sense, and I hope this like helps, because it's been something I've thought about for a long time. It's been stewing in the brain. If you want me to expand upon anything, just like comment, be like, what did you mean by this? Or could this apply to this? Like world building advice. I love giving world building advice. Like literally I live for that stuff, dude. I live for giving world building advice to people. Hit me up in the comments if you want some world building advice, if you want me to expand upon anything. If you liked this, if it helped, be sure to like the video, you know, pop a subscribe. I do a bunch of random stuff on this channel. I animate sometimes. I ramble at work sometimes. I play Helldivers most of the time. I think that's about it though. I don't have anything else to add. I'm kind of just rambling out an outro. This was not scripted. I don't know if I said that at the beginning because this is now the 26th take of this. So I genuinely have no idea if I said at the beginning if this was scripted or not. It's not scripted. Google Docs is open. I could have easily scripted this, but I didn't because I'm stubborn. Anyway, I will catch y'all later. Peace.